Okay, so we're back with another video, this time about the NBA. I know. But as long as they keep doing stupid stuff like this, we're going to keep talking about it because this epitomizes everything we talk about here, where pop culture and politics blend together. And there's no bigger whipping boy, there's no bigger poster child than the NBA. And LeBron James, you'll probably be on the thumbnail as well on this one. But this video, we're going to cover hard evidence going back to 2019 to show that the NBA is worse off than you thought. We're going to cover that, even go over some comments in this article that we're going to show you. I know it's anecdotal, but it does highlight the overall feeling that we all have about the NBA. And we're going to start right now. Hello, I'm Kyle and welcome to the channel and thank you for coming by. In this article we're going to show you is from Outkick. It is entitled, NBA ratings have plummeted since 2019 more than you think. Well, I thought that it was pretty bad. After reading this, it's really bad. And so let's go into this. We have a lot to cover, a couple articles to go through as well. And we're going to get to some comments at the end of this. And let's just check this out. He starts off by saying, sports writers and broadcasters, extensions of the NBA's PR department, often become emotional and throw the book at critics who accurately point out that the NBA is a diminishing brand. It's called gaslighting. They want to tell us we're full of it. But let's keep going. The book is full of directions on how to dishonestly convince the audience that the NBA's plummet isn't as bad as the few honest media members say. The puppets are running out of excuses though. What's happening is they're coming up with real numbers and real data that they cannot ignore. And I absolutely love it. The media has yelled bubble last season as NBA ratings tanked to lows you had to blink twice to believe. Fine. Let's take last year out and compare this year to 2019. Are you sure that's what you want? To forget last year's numbers? Now, this guy here, the author of this article, is basically taking out the numbers from last year and just comparing them to 2019 and see what we have. He says here that NBA broadcasts on ABC, ESPN, and TNT are down 25%, gone, never to have returned. LeBron James waves a middle finger at half the country, and viewers respond by turning the channel at a rate higher than the previous year. They aren't coming back. Compared to 2019, TNT's 2021 slate dropped 19% from 1.5 million to 1.2 million, 300,000 viewers. ESPN fell even further, down 26% from 1.6 million down to under 1.2 million, 400,000. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver once blamed cable packages for collapsing ratings. Has he seen what the sport is doing on ABC, NBA's sole broadcast partner? Yesterday, we did a video on ABC and the Oscars and how Disney was affected. Their numbers are following the same trend. It's not just an isolated thing in the NBA. We like talking about the NBA because LeBron James is pretty much an idiot, okay? He's easy to target because he is just by himself destroyed this league. He epitomizes everything about go woke, go broke. He's the guy. He's out there out front. So we can take the same article and go to the NFL, MLB, we can go to the Oscars like we did yesterday, or any other media that you want to talk about when people want to talk about these false lies, these narratives that are just totally bogus, and push that to the forefront and shove it down the audience's throats and thinking that they're going to actually respond in a positive manner. They are not. Again, gaslighting. Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, says, hey, it's the cable packages for collapsing ratings. It's that, people are unplugging and so forth. So the ABC tanked 25% from 2019 and 2021, going from 3.6 million to 2.7 million. That's almost a million viewers. That's an all-time low. An all-time low. Since 2011, 2012, ABC's NBA broadcasts are down more than 45%. Nearly half the audience is gone. Half of your audience is gone. That stands exactly with the demographic numbers that we've been seeing across the board. So the author here admits, hey, cord cutting is down, okay? But the NBA is at a much higher level, and it's because of people like LeBron James. He's an idiot. He's a liar. He had, in my opinion, was criminal in his attack of that law officer, doxing him, putting his family at risk for something that he was trying to do, like his job in protecting that young lady. And so that to me is horrible. And it wasn't his first time. He also incited, in many people's eyes, the ambush of the law officers as well when they were attacked. So the author points to another article that he wrote on Outkick where he proves that the decline is undeniable. It says here, the NBA ratings are worse than we thought last month when we found out they were worse than we thought. I like how I did that. And here it says, ABC's damning declines were most concerning. Last season, the NBA on ABC recorded its lowest average on record, 2.95 million. While exact figures are yet to be determined, ABC games this season will still come in lower. In other words, lower than all-time low numbers. And of course, NBA commissioner previously expressed concerns about cable packages being the issue. So they can't gaslight, but so much more. Here's this here. Painting Black Lives Matter on court, endangering heroic police officers, lying about race relations, promulgating a myth that police are hunting black people, bowing to the Chinese Communist Party, and profiting off slave labor all play online with shoe companies. But they do not resonate with the majority of the American population. It says here that a recent study, and I will show that in a second, as much finding that nearly half of America changed its sport viewing habits once political and social messaging began to spread across the leagues, particularly in the NBA. People change their sports viewing habits. When they start seeing this stuff going away against everything they've ever grown up with. I'm a Redskins fan, okay? I love football, and I grew up with it. I was there on key moments when the Redskins were winning their championships in the 80s. It deep ties in my community back home in DC, with my parents, everyone, my friends. I couldn't take it anymore. It just, when you get that way, I myself personally removed myself from something that was so entrenched in my culture growing up, so much enjoyment and a lot of heartbreak, but a lot of enjoyment, even with my kids, because I didn't want to deal with the crap that I was seeing. And I'm not the only one. I'm going to show some comments of people who did the same thing. So people changed their viewing habits once political and social messaging began to spread across the leagues, particularly in the NBA, which is why I said before, they are the whipping boy. They are the poster child for this. It's like you could put that on a milk carton. You know, NBA personifies all of it, okay? Other sports have not suffered nearly as much. Take the horses, for example. 2021 Preakness actually increased viewership from 2019 by 29%, almost a third. We also saw an NCAA tournament. They had Baylor and Gonzaga, two teams no one even knows about. That game was higher than last year's NBA Finals. So in this study here, nearly half of Americans changed their sports viewing habits because of woke social justice. This is from 2 months ago. According to a new YouGov Yahoo News poll, nearly half of America changed its sports viewing habits once political and social messaging spread across the leagues. Because of aggressive woke messaging, three times as many Americans watch sports less often than those who watch them more often. 34.5% to 11%. 35% to 11%. 56.3% say they watched about the same amount. Okay? Though not quite 50-50, the number of people who changed their viewing habits was undoubtedly represented in total viewership declines. Ratings across all major sports were down in 2020, but the NBA, the most political among them, lost over half of its audience in the NBA Finals, a finals that featured its top individual and team draw, the Lakers. The Lakers are the crown jewel of the NBA. That's not viewers watching less often, that's viewers not watching at all. People turned it off. Keep in mind that these declines occurred during a pandemic. People are home, nothing to do, looking at each other, looking for something to entertain themselves with. And a Premier League, one of the top three, the NBA, people decided not to tune in at nearly a rate of 50%. When far more Americans were home than normal, daily work, school commutes also slashed, allowing viewers to watch. There's no excuse. They chose, without a doubt, to not watch. All right, so let's go back here and look at some comments here that I highlighted here. This is from Outkick. It says here, so let's take a look at some of these comments, shall we? This is from the Outkick. And again, this is anecdotal. This is just a sample, a small sample. But I'm saying this across the board for the comments on this channel, people I've talked to in my inner circle, and just on Facebook and social media. I'm hearing these same things over and over and over again. And I'm sure you can multiply these out by a couple million each as a sample size. This guy, Steve, here says, good riddance, NBA. Ron says, once a huge NBA fan would watch nightly, guys. Haven't watched a second of it since 2019. This guy here has watched every night, but hasn't watched it all since 2019. Jerry says, drop the NBA package as they moved the All-Star game out of Charlotte. So we talked about how the NBA moved their game out of Atlanta, a 51% black community, a league which has mostly black players, mostly black players, for a cause for black issues, supposedly, to a city, Denver, with very little black people, very little black businesses, because Atlanta had a huge black business population. So that wasn't very smart either, in my opinion. And Nita says here, when the Celtics boycotted their January 6th game, I left for good. These comments go on and on and on. There's one more. I'm a lifelong basketball fan. I used to watch a ton of NBA games. The last 2 years, I have stopped watching completely after they went full on woke. So what do you think? What do you think about the NBA? Do you have comments similar to this? Experiences similar to this? I'm curious. I'd like to know what you think. Do you think that the NBA is really the poster child of woke, go broke mentality and business decisions? I'm curious to know what you think. And if you like what we do in this channel, we take pop culture and politics and filter to you in a conservative manner. In other words, filter to you right. Please click the like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. Also, we have a join button there, so if you want to support the channel, you can click that and find out how to do that. As always, please check out some content that we have right here.